What's up, athletes? It's your girl, Danielle, back with another YouTube video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna take you through a full body dumbbell power workout. This is something you can do absolutely anywhere. All you need is a set of dumbbells. This should take us about 45 minutes to get through. I'm gonna start with a quick dynamic warm up and then we're gonna get into it. And as always, I'm gonna explain form and the why behind the movement. And while we're on that note, you might be wondering, Danielle, why are we power training? What is power training? Why should I even care? And that is a great question. What is power? Power is the amount of force that somebody can exert in the shortest amount of time. So to put it simply, speed plus strength equals power. Optimal power is how quickly someone can exert force to produce a desired movement. So to put that in plain terms, how quickly a basketball player can jump up for the rebound. And why is this important to train? Well, muscle power is different than muscle strength, and muscle power depletes quicker as we age and get older. And the best way to be able to retain as much muscle power as possible is to train for it. So today we're gonna be using a modality called contrast power training, which is where we superset a heavy weighted movement with a plyometric or power movement that mimics the same movement pattern. So for example, a heavy squat paired with a box jump. The science behind this is we are exciting those fast twitch muscle fibers by putting them under a lot of stress with that weighted heavy movement. And then we are going right into the power movement to transfer that heightened state into a synchronized movement. If that doesn't make sense now, it will by the end of the video, I promise you. I'm gonna walk you through absolutely everything. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. We're gonna have a lot of fun here on YouTube, so let's get to work. Glutes are gonna be on fire. Now that we are warm and ready to train, let's get into the first superset. First movement, you're gonna be supersetting a dumbbell sumo squat with a drop squat. You're gonna superset 10 reps of that strength-based movement, that dumbbell sumo squat, with 10 reps of the plyo drop squat. So let's get into the first movement. I like to use 2 dumbbells here. You can use 1, you can use a kettlebell, but for the sake of this being a dumbbell-only workout, we're just gonna be working with the 2 heaviest dumbbells that you have at home. If you have lighter weight dumbbells and you wanna make it a little bit more difficult for you, slow down the tempo of that squat, and that is going to turn up the intensity of that movement a little bit for you. But the idea behind this contrast training is that this should be heavy for you. You should be working for that 8th, 9th, and 10th rep. You're gonna pick up your dumbbells. They're gonna be in front of you. Feet are wider than hips with distance. Toes are slightly pointed out. I want you to give me a little bit of a hip hinge. This hip hinge is going to put the movement a little bit more into your glutes. And then you're going to slowly bring the dumbbells down to the ground, push the ground away to come back up to the top. Goal here is to make the last rep look like the first rep. Once you complete those 10 reps, you're gonna go right into your drop squat, which is your plyometric movement. So you're gonna be starting standing up tall. You're gonna drop into that same squat that you were just in with those dumbbells, and you're gonna explode up to the top, landing on those tiptoes, and you're gonna find that bottom position again. 2, 3. Quick. This is why I love this training style, because it's not only challenging from a strength-based perspective, but it's also going to test your conditioning a little bit. And that cardiovascular health is really important when it comes to training for longevity. We are athletes for life, so that's what we're training for. One thing I always tell all of my athletes when training, the last round that you see something is last set, best set, okay? That kind of sets the intention for whatever you want to get out of this last round, you go get it right here, okay? That means you are picking up a heavier weight if possible. You are exploding off the ground a little bit harder. You're putting a lot more effort into this last set. So what can you do for this last round that's gonna make it your best round, okay? For me, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more powerful and intentional with that drop squat. So let's get it. Like I said, if you want to make this squat a little bit more difficult and you only have limited weight in dumbbells, slow that squat down. There we go. Here we go. Let's be super springy, super powerful here. All right, first superset down, 3 more to go. I would say give yourself about 2 minutes of full recovery before you go into the next superset. Next superset, we're going into a dumbbell RDL, and then I'm gonna show you how to use a dumbbell instead of a kettlebell for a dumbbell swing. So our strength movement in this series is, you guessed it, yes, the dumbbell RDL, and then the ballistic power movement is gonna be that dumbbell swing. Similar hinge movement patterns. You're hinging at the hips for that RDL, same way you're hinging at the hips for that dumbbell swing. Firing up those fast twitch muscle fibers on the RDL, and then taking advantage of that heightened state for that synchronized swing, all right? See, I told you you were gonna get it, okay? I think I made it a little bit more complicated than it needed to be in the beginning, but you get where we're going here. I'm gonna give you a few tips here before we get into this to make sure that you feel comfortable and confident hitting this heavy RDL. A lot of us tend to stand with this anterior pelvic tilt right here. I want you to tuck your tailbone underneath. You're gonna zip your belly button up and into your spine. There's already a little bit of tension in my core and in my glutes. As I drag these dumbbells down my legs and down my shins, I'm starting this movement by sending my hips backward. I want you to imagine there's a car door behind you that's open. You're closing that car door with your hips, with your glutes. You're gonna stop those dumbbells just below your kneecaps, okay? A lot of you might be flexible to bring the dumbbells down here, but honestly, the risk is not worth the reward there, okay? All that's doing is putting added pressure on your lower back, putting you at risk for injury, and the extra stretch in the hamstrings is not really doing as much as you think it is. Closing that car door behind us, keeping our spine nice and neutral, stopping right below the knees. We spread the ground with our feet and push through our heels to come back up to the top. We got 10 reps, and then we're gonna go right into that dumbbell swing. As soon as you stop feeling those hips going backwards, that's your end range, okay? This is not your end range. This is your end range. Then we're gonna go right into that dumbbell swing. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. You can either grab the dumbbell by the butt or the bell part right here, or you can grab the dumbbell by the handle, whichever one feels safer and sturdier for you. You're gonna start in that same hike position that you would with a kettlebell, and you're gonna hike the dumbbell up and back. You're in that same position that you were in that RDL, and I'm gonna explode through the hips to bring the dumbbell up. The top of that dumbbell swing is an extension of the power that you are generating and creating from your hips. I don't want this to look like a squat then a front raise. That's not what we're doing here, okay? Your arms stay loose. You have a tight grip on the dumbbell. Your arms are only moving because your lower half is creating that much power. Make sure you're finding that same hinge in the hips. This is not a squat. This is a hinge. All right, second round. No surprises. We know what to expect now. 10 reps of that RDL, straight into 10 reps of that dumbbell swing. Let's get it. Now, if you want this to be a little bit more glute focused, go ahead and take a little bit more of a bend in the knee as you come down. If you want this to be a little bit more hamstring focused, ease up on that knee bend, and it's gonna take it more into the hamstrings. Go right into that swing. Glutes are gonna be on fire after this one. I promise we're done with legs, kinda. You guys know what it's time for. If you didn't say last round, best round, we're not as locked in as I thought we were, okay? Last round, best round. Let's go. What can we do to make this last round our best round? Let's work. Halfway through the workout, get yourself a drink. You've earned it. I'll meet you back here for the third superset. This one, we're going all upper body, okay? I'm gonna switch to my lighter set of dumbbells. We're gonna go straight up, strict shoulder press, superset with a dumbbell push press. Form tips for the shoulder press. I want you to make sure that you have a controlled but relaxed stance, have a slight bend in your knees, your core is still braced, still tight. I want you to make sure that you can see your elbows and your peripheral vision at all times. If your elbows are straight out to the side, which is what I see a lot of people do, I can't see my elbows. So we're gonna bring them in a little bit to that 45-degree angle to protect the shoulders here, and you're also gonna feel a little bit more of an immediate lat engagement here, which is what we want, okay? We want that lat supporting the shoulder joint. We're gonna bring those arms up to the top and right back down, making the last rep look just like the first rep. We're going 10 reps of the shoulder press into the push press. I have a slight bend in my knees, my core is tight. I can see my elbows. So now we're gonna go right into the push press. This is going to be the power movement of this superset. This time, I want you to think about punching the ceiling as hard as possible and as fast as possible with those dumbbells. We're using a little bit of our lower half to kind of sink into our hips and explode up to the top. 10 reps, let's work. One round down, 2 more to go. Let's get it. Core stays tight. Exhale as you come up to the top. The upper body movements fool you. My shoulders are on fire right now, but that's what we want. This is when the workout begins because I'm tired, my shoulders hurt, I'm fatigued, I'm out of breath, I don't want to be here anymore. The coolness of this YouTube video has worn off to me, but we started it, so we got to finish it. Okay, that's something that we all need to start doing more in life. If you start something, if you promise yourself something, if you say you're going to do something, you have to start keeping those promises that you made to yourself. I told myself at the beginning of this workout that I want to work hard and I want to make a great video for my community. I don't want to do that anymore, okay? I'm tired, but I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna do it, okay? That's how we build confidence. When you start getting in the habit of keeping the promises that you make to yourself long after the motivation has worn off, but you do it anyways, that allows you to see how your capacity actually can expand, okay? That's how we build capacity. That's how we build confidence. Confidence comes from what? evidence. Every time you push through that wall, you give yourself a little bit more evidence of what you're capable of, okay? So let's finish strong together and let's get this done, all right? Last round, best round. Let's go. Oh, I feel good now. Locked in. I just need to give myself that little pep talk. 7. That pep talk fired me up. Okay, those first 5 reps felt like the weight was flying. 8th rep brought me back down to earth a little bit. Let's keep that same energy, Wilson. Let's go, 10 big reps right here. Woo! That was definitely my best round, actually. So, last round, best round actually worked. Grab a sip of water, and we got the last superset, and you're out of here. Let's get to it. We're gonna be supersetting a dumbbell dead bug with a single arm alternating dumbbell snatch. What are these names? Who came up with all these long names? This is an incredible movement for your pelvic floor health, and it's really just a great movement to help improve the efficiency and quality of your movement patterns. All movement comes from your core. And when you think about core training, I want you to think about training to prevent energy leaks. Imagine your body is a nice big boat, okay? You don't want any holes or energy leaks making that boat shift and possibly sink, okay? You're plugging up all those energy leaks by creating a strong and stable core. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I just be talking. And it makes sense in my head, but let me know in the comments if that made sense. I can go into a little bit more depth in another video. We are going to be on the ground. You're gonna tuck your tailbone under here, zip your belly button down into your spine. You're gonna grab your dumbbell here. That's gonna come straight up over your head, and then I want you to lift your knees up into that tabletop position. Slowly, you're gonna let that dumbbell fall back, activating the lats. One leg is gonna go out. My core does not move. You did not see my low back come up or anything like that. That is absolutely what we do not want. That is gonna rock your low back and put you at risk for injury. That is what we are trying to prevent. So you're gonna slowly extend those arms and leg at the same time, alternating those legs. I will never forget the word alternate. That was really embarrassing in the last video. You're gonna go 5 on each leg for 10 reps total. We're gonna go into a single arm dumbbell snatch, which is going to be our ballistic movement. We're kind of putting everything we've done together in this last movement, because you're gonna kind of see that sumo squat position from that first movement, and we're doing that single arm snatch up to the top that kind of mimics what we just did with those push presses and shoulder presses. But one thing I want you to remember is that this is not a squat to press. The dumbbell is coming up as a result of the power that you're creating from your hips. Exploding up to the top, making sure that our lat engages at the top to control that dumbbell, and it's gonna come down to the ground. We're alternating 5 reps on each side for a total of 10 reps, just like we did with the dead bug. So it looks like right arm, exploding up to the top, replace that dumbbell, left arm, exploding up to the top. When you're doing these, I want you to think about zipping up a jacket with that dumbbell. Dumbbell stays nice and close to your body the entire time. All right, we're coming back to the floor. Second round of dead bugs. Here we go. Low back is pushed into the ground. Belly button is zipped into your spine. Slowly extending, coming back up to that starting position. Right into those dumbbell snatches. Let's get it. Use my heavier dumbbell. Challenge myself here. Two rounds down, 1 round to go. What am I about to say? Last round, best round, that's it. Very good. I'm actually gonna use my heavier dumbbell on this last set. If you have any way to increase the intensity on this final round, I'm asking you to do so. Okay, last round, best round. This is the last thing you're doing today, okay? So let's make it count. Yup. Core stays locked in. Last thing on the day, right here. We got 10 big, powerful reps here, okay? I want to see you prove something to yourself on this last set, okay? We're live in 3, 2, 1, let's get it. I swear these pep talks be working. And we're finished. All right, athletes, we are done. That is all we got on the menu today. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and effort. I hope this proved to you that you don't need a lot of fancy gym equipment to get in a good, efficient, effective workout. If you liked this style of training, if you like my vibe, my workouts, you can always find more of me and my workouts on the Spark training app. If you like those little motivational pep talks as well, we also have a mindset corner in the app that is full of all the motivation and mindset guidance that you could possibly need. Thank you so much for joining me for this workout. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next video and on this channel. I'm so excited about YouTube again. I'm really excited and looking forward to building this platform, building out this community. So thank you for being here early. Thank you for being with me. I really appreciate every view, every like, every comment, every subscriber. So be sure to share this with a friend, like, comment, subscribe, and love you, mean it. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here, guys. Bye.